Apparently, Winnipeg isn't satisfied with just getting their team back. They want a winner. And the team has shown it in the standings lately, right in the thick of a playoff spot. And that race as of late hasn't really been who can run the fastest, but who can fall down the least during the race. That being said, still counts. And although a few weeks ago it looked like the Jets might be sellers at the trade deadline, I suspect them to be buyers. Nothing drastic. In fact, they might just stand pat, but I don't see them being sellers. Looking at the team right now, their list of pending UFAs and RFAs is pretty safe. Jim Slater, Tanner Glass, Kyle Wellwood, Tim Stapleton, Johnny Oduya, Randy Jones, Mark Flood, and Chris Mason, all unrestricted. And not to say those guys aren't key components of the Jets and a big reason why they're in the race right now, but you can replace guys like that. Restricted free agents Evander Kane, Eric Fair, and Andre Pavlik, different story. But they're restricted. And basically what I'm saying about those UFA guys is, yeah, you could trade them and sell them off, I guess, but really what would you get in return? Johnny Oduya is a name that's been rumored to be heading out of town a couple times, and they've been getting good goaltending out of Andre Pavlik. Their defense isn't so bad, it's the forwards that could use some help, so maybe Oduya for a forward. Then again, they did have that 9-8 game. But really the big thing about the Jets is this. Fans lose their mind throughout the MTS Center every game. They have about a dozen guys on the current roster that need new contracts and over a dozen more in the minors in the same position. If the Jets really want to rebuild in the summer, if they really want to, kind of reform and make their own identity, because essentially the roster is basically the Atlanta Thrashers from last season, if they want, they'll have plenty of cap space and plenty of roster spots to do that in the offseason. For now, you're back in town, your fans are excited, you're one of the better home teams out there. Try to make the playoffs. Don't sell the farm because you don't have much of one, but try to make a move. So like I said, maybe Oduya makes his way out of town in exchange for a forward, and Paul Postma comes up from the minors. Postma has excellent numbers in the AHL, but less than half a dozen NHL games under his belt, with an expiring contract as a restricted free agent. Maybe you see what you got. And again, it doesn't have to be Oduya, it doesn't have to be a big splash, but they got to be awful confident in this current squad to think they can do anything in the playoffs. Because Jets fans were extremely happy to see a team move back to Winnipeg, but they'd be even more happy if they made a move for the playoffs, because I imagine they'll make a little bit of noise.